Hello there, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be covering my last, 10 days. Yeah, my last 10 days of Inktober. I've got 3 videos on my channel covering week 1, week 2, and week 3. And on my Instagram I posted the illustrations every day as they came out. But it's over, Inktober is done, I'm done, I sealed it, sketchbook's closed, ink pen's away. I'm probably going to keep using them for the rest of forever because I had a lot of fun, but it's over, it's done, and I'm going to take you through each of the drawings, the last ones for the last 10 days. And I was following the official prompt list, so that was the guidelines that I was using for most of my illustrations. For day 22, the prompt was expensive, and my concept for this one, I think this is the most creative concept that I had out of all my concepts for Inktober, and it was don't drink and drive, it's expensive. And I was thinking that because Halloween is almost upon us and a lot of people go have parties and have a lot of fun. I was actually involved in some rather interesting stuff on Friday night, but anyway, it's the holiday for, young adults to get a little bit crazy, but it's just a nice reminder to, still stay safe, because this character that I portrayed is mourning someone because they were drinking and driving, and it was expensive to this character. So moving on, day 23, the prompt for this day was muddy, and I have a lot of positive associations with muddy things because I always think of muddy is like you're having fun and it starts raining, you decide I'm going to keep having fun, so you end up getting muddy. And so the way I chose to portray this is with a kid and a football, and he was out playing football and it started raining and he kept playing football, and here he's coming back dripping in mud because he has a good time and he's a happy kid. I'm really happy with the way that his face turned out, and I think it's a pretty good interpretation of this. I think that the mud splotches could be clearer, but at the same time, it's like, I think it looks great. For day 24, the prompt was chop, and for chop, I could have gone somewhere a lot more gruesome, but I decided to go with my first thought, which was chopping vegetables. So here we have a guy with crazy curly hair chopping an onion, and he has a bit of the cries, because onions make you cry. I personally start crying if I have to cut more than one onion. If I just have to cut one onion, I'm fine, but if it's more than one onion, I end up getting the cries real bad. And so that's why I thought this was kind of an entertaining concept, and I'm really happy with the way that his hands turned out. The prompt for day 25 is prickly. Originally, I intended to have a character holding this cactus, but then I saw the face on the cactus. I drew the little face on the pot, and I was like, no, I don't need a character holding this. And also, I was very tired on day 25. I was like really running out of time. I felt like I almost thought I was going to fall off the wagon around this time for Inktober. I didn't end up doing so, but I was like, let's be nice to myself and let's be nice to little Cactus Chan. And I also decided to keep the proportions because I took a photo of the drawing and then I put it in Photoshop, put it in my format and all that, but I could have made it larger to take up more of the screen. But I just thought it would be like a really nice effect if Cactus Chan just stayed tiny. And so there's Cactus Chan all happy. The prompt for day 26 is stretch, and I didn't see this coming, but you guys should have seen this coming. Of course I was going to draw Izuku at some point during Inktober. I really didn't see any of the My Hero Acca fan arts coming when I saw the prompt list. I didn't envision myself drawing any of them, but then by the time stretch came around, I wanted to do this kind of a gym stretch to represent the prompt, and I'd had the pose sketched out, and I was like, who should I put in here? And I started trying to think, which ones of my characters are more likely to, like my original characters, which ones of them are more likely to work out? But then I was like, you know what? Might as well just go for broke. I already drew Katsuki, I already drew Todoroki. Let's go get a home run with Izuku. And it was funny because I was drawing this in class, and I had to take a pause right before I started filling in the block colors. So I'd done the basic outline in the inks, but I hadn't filled in any of the blacks or the hatching yet. And we got split up into like different little mini groups to do just like a classwork assignment. And so one of my classmates that I don't usually like sit near he like took a look at my sketchbook. He's like, oh, you should color that character's hair green so it looks like Deku. And I was like, it is Deku. And he's like, oh, it really looks like Deku. And it was still like a pretty rough sketch, but it just made me really happy that a classmate that I haven't talked as much to just recognized it. It was pretty cool. And we have the Holy Trio. I feel accomplished in terms of my fan art counter for Inktober. The prompt for day 27 was thunder, and I was really stumped on what to do for this because thunder is something white on something black, and I didn't want to completely empty every single pen that I own, but then I also was trying to be a little bit creative about it. So then I was thinking, okay, a back tattoo of thunder might work. And I was just scrolling down Pinterest just to see, like, I looked up on Pinterest back tattoo just to see, like, kind of the photography, because there's a lot of tattoo artists that take a lot of care in how they photograph the work. So what poses they put their clients in when they photograph their tattoo. And I was just looking around there and I found this pose that this woman was in, like holding her ponytail or her hair. And I was like, oh, that works. And so I drew it and I added some lightning. And then when it came time to edit it, because it looked like really messy, just the sketch how it was. Not the sketch, even the lines. Like I finalized it in my sketch, but it looked really messy. I didn't think that it translated as well. So I decided to do a little bit of Photoshop cheating. So I put this grey over all of it, and I erased the grey where the lightning was so that it would show white, because I did clean it up with my white jelly roll, but I didn't have the only thing that I have that would put that grey evenly like that on my paper is a marker, but I already had day 26 on the other side of that page in my sketchbook, so I decided to cheat a little bit with Photoshop. But I'm really happy with how this came out. I think it really stands out. Like, if you look at all my Inktobers in my Instagram, I think this one particularly stands out just because of the contrast of the grey tone with the white. And I really like the execution of the concept. I also really like the little flyaway hairs that I didn't have ponytail. It was a little bit of a last minute addition, but it adds a lot to it. The prompt for day 28 was gift, and I decided to take that literally. So this is a character owned by my friend DarkPetal16, and this drawing is literally a gift to her. And she was very happy to get it. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. This character's name is Rose. She's the protagonist of my friend's original novel in progress called Magic of Dawn. And yeah, DarkPetal16 was doing a lot of edits to her novel this month. So while I was busy with Inktober, she was busy with editing her book. So I felt like it would be a good time to give her a little gift of Rose. And I really like the expression and the way that the hair flows, and just in general, it makes me happy to look at this illustration, which is what I was going for. The prompt for day 29 was double, and when I was first looking at the prompt list, the idea that I had for this prompt was just a character looking in a mirror, and you saw the back of them, and then you saw their face through the mirror. But when it came time to draw it, I just didn't really feel any inspiration towards trying to figure out a good, interesting composition for that. So I decided just to draw two faces in profile, because I've drawn a couple faces. I remember Drain, and I don't know what else, but I haven't drawn too many faces in profile over Inktober compared to as many faces as I've drawn. So I decided to draw two faces in profile, one of them smiling, one of them not smiling. And then I got in my idea of what if one of them was white lines on black. But I cheated again. I did that in Photoshop, the black background and the white lines. I did the lines in my sketchbook as normal, but yeah, to turn the lines white on the black, I did that in Photoshop. It's still done in inks. I'm feeling a little bit looser in terms of Inktober guidelines, because I just feel like I'd rather do the best service towards my concepts rather than, completely restraining myself. But it's still done in inks anyway, and I'm really happy with the way that this turned out, especially with the white lines on the black. It adds a really cool effect, and you can read into it a lot more deeply this way, I believe. Anyway, the prompt for day 30 was Jolt, and I honestly did try to come up with something else. I really did. I was like Googling and researching and thinking about this for a while, and I was really trying to just come up with, but the only things I could come up with was something like more of something that would be better served for an animation more than an illustration. So I just decided to just, spare myself a little bit, and I drew a little chibi Jolteon, because I love Jolteon. Jolteon's like one of my 3 favorite electric Pokemon, and if I have a chance to use Jolteon on my team in a Pokemon game, I will. And also, in like 2.5 weeks, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu is coming out, and I can't wait. The whole reason I bought a Nintendo Switch was to get this game, so I'm happy to, give myself a little more Pokemon hype. And Jolteon turned out really cute. It was like really chibi, and I don't know, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And then on to our final day, day 31, the prompt was Slice, and I really cannot believe that it's day 31 already. Like, how did time go so fast? It felt like I only started Inktober yesterday, and now it's already over, but at the same time it's been like exhausting. Anyway, so for the prompt Slice, I was looking into a couple different ways to portray this, but then I thought that the easiest and most translatable way to do this was with a sword, and then I came down the rabbit hole of trying to find like an actiony pose to use a sword in, and yeah, I spent a long time. I had like 3 different like pose sketches that I was trying out to try to get a good like feel for a slicing thing, and then I ended up settling on this one. And the character is Link from Zelda, the video game, and it's because I've been playing Breath of the Wild non-stop for ages. I struggled quite a bit because he's wearing his hero's tunic, and it's got quite a lot of complicated designs, and it's also hard to translate those designs when I'm just in black and white, because the tunic is kind of sky blue with white accents on it, and then it has the dark brown arm braces and some gloves, but then there's like a white tunic in between, like it's underneath the blue tunic. Anyway, it's kind of complicated, and I wish I would have been able to like zoom in and like have color to like render the tunic, but I think you still get the general message. I've been loving Breath of the Wild. I've put over 100 hours into it according to my Switch in the past like month and a bit, so yeah, it really didn't feel right to go through Inktober and not draw something for Legend of Zelda. But yeah, this has been my Inktober journey for 2018. It's been a long one. I really cannot believe that I've done it. I don't see how I could have been able to do it because I've been so busy this month. But thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for supporting my Inktober. If you've liked any of my Instagram posts, if you've commented on any of my videos, I really appreciate it. It's really helped me keep going this month. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on Friday with a regular video.